Welcome to Retro Yak, bitch.
Retro Yak.
Hello, welcome to Retro Yak. This is going to be a video series where I talk at you and there's nothing you can do about it apart from turn it off or hit the dislike button or never look at this video. But apart from that, there's nothing you can do. And I want to bring up the topic of multicarts. I think they're great, but what do you think? That's what I want to know in the comments. I've got two. I've got one for the NES on my Retron HD and I've got one for the Mega Drive, and I'm going to get another one for my Game Boy Micro. A review of which you can see on Zombie Bob's Emporium of Old Tat. Link in the description down below. But I think they're great. I think they're great value for money. The NES cart only cost me £10 all in, and the Mega Drive one only cost me £5.80 on those well-known Chinese websites. They're cheap. I can play them on original hardware on CRTs, and I'll never be able to afford all these games. I can play them on an emulation, but I like the hassle-free life of flopping in the cart and just turning it on and picking a game. Very straightforward, very fast, and I love it. And yes, these flash carts or multi-carts may kill your console, but they're 30 to 35 years old. How much longer can they last? We can repair them, but everything falls apart eventually in the end. Let me know in the comments, do you think I'm full of shit, or do you think, yeah, multi-carts are great? Do you think these should be burned? Do you think I should be burned? Now here's the next segment where I answer your questions. If you've got a question, leave it in the comments. I asked the members of the RetroTech 100 Facebook group. They had their questions for good old RetroTech, and here are the answers. I'm going to call this section Questions for RetroTech till I come up with a better name.
If Headman answers questions.
First question comes from Paul Smallman from Paul is the Best UK. Paul asks, what is your favourite 32-bit system and why? And the obvious answer is the Sega Saturn. I love it because it's so colourful, it's so arcadey, and it's way better than the Sony PlayStation. Anybody who thinks anything else can go fuck themselves. Next question. EM Carter from Dad's Lands Gaming asked me what my favourite arcade game is that's not emulated in the actual arcade, and I'd have to say Galaga. I don't know why, just always loved Galaga. So colourful, so much better than Space Invaders. I love Street Fighter 2 also, but Galaga's the winner for me. Douglas Titchmarsh asked me what my favourite console is, and I'd have to say the Sega Mega Drive. I know a lot of people might think it's the Saturn for me, but no, it's the Mega Drive. First 16-bit system I got. I never bothered with the SNES. I always liked the Mega Drive, I always will. Mega Drive does what Nintendo don't. Chris Diamond from Retro48K asks, which is the greatest Dizzy game ever to be released on the Spectrum? And should the Oliver twins be knighted? Well, I don't mind Dizzy, but the Oliver twins are annoying bastards. I've met them and all they do is talk about themselves. Chris also asked what got me into retro collecting. A couple of years back I did try to start, well, about 10 years back I did try to start picking stuff up. I just like playing the older games. I'm not really into playing modern games. So I wanted to collect stuff I'd had as a kid or wanted to have as a kid. I tried to start in Ireland, but it's just too expensive and there wasn't the community that there is in the UK. So when I got back to the UK I started collecting. I haven't got a lot of games. I generally go through phases of getting stuff and getting rid of stuff. It's more hardware I collect than games. I tend to emulate the games and collect the hardware. So that's why, because I like games and there's a great UK game collecting scene here. That answers your question. Zach Murphy asks, what's the weirdest game in my collection? And I have to say I don't have any weird games. I only collect games I play. Every game on this shelf I play, and if I didn't I'd sell it. Simon McGuinness from Gamersci asks, who is your favourite YouTuber and why am I? It will be Gamersci. It's because of his awesome accent and his lovely long hair. David Birdsall from David Plays Games Badly Birdsall YouTube channel asks, what was your favourite console computer as a child, and has your favourite console computer changed as an adult? Yes, I love the Saturn now, although Mega Drive is still my favourite. I'd say probably when I was a kid it started as Master System, and then in my later teenage years it was the 3DO was my favourite system. So yes, it's changed. It used to be the 3DO and the Master System, now it's the Mega Drive and the Saturn. Well, I mostly stayed in the same seller of games, Sega. So I love Sega, I always have done, always will. Leigh Ashton asked, do I think Dave should play Fantastic Dizzy on the Mega Drive? And yes I do. I like the torture Dave, so any more torture I can give him is really good. So yes is the answer. Leigh Ashton also asks, how many CRTs are enough? The answer is there are not enough CRTs for me personally. I'd have 100, maybe more. I've currently got about 8 CRTs. They're not all hooked up. That's how many I've got. I want a lot more. I'd like a video wall if I could get it. I do have the space. I would make space for a video wall. Alistair Ramsey Mackenzie, an excellent name, asks, how much is your power bill running all these consoles and computers? Well, I don't run them all at the same time. I run them a couple at a time. Sometimes I put them all on, but my power bill's very low because I don't go mental all the time. 20th Century Gaming asks, what was the craziest thing you've done in a rage quit? I smashed consoles with my fist. I've thrown consoles out the window. I don't do it in my later years now because I know the value of said console. But I have done some terrible things. Mainly smashed consoles and controllers like we all did. Twisted them was always my favourite. Getting a controller, being really mad and twisting the bugger. So watch out if I come around to play games, I might twist the controller and destroy it. So bring me on, alright. Mark Payne from Mark Fixes Stuff asks, did you, and if you did, would you do it again if allowed? Yes I did, and yes I would do it again if I was allowed. But after the last lawsuit and getting locked up for at least 36 hours, it wasn't worth it. But push comes to shove, I would do it again, yeah. Alistair Ramsey Mackenzie also asks, do you drink tea, and if so, do you take anything in it? Yes, I drink tea with milk and 4 sugars. But I'm trying to use sweeteners, but I've got a terrible sweet tooth. That's why I've got rotten teeth. So milk and 4 sugars. Andrew Ogier asks, if you had to choose between never seeing your family or your sat collection again, would you wave goodbye to your family individually or as a group? Probably as a group, just to get it done, and then, you know, then they're gone, aren't they? Leigh Ashton also asks, which Tony Hawk's games is the best and on which platform? And I'd say Tony Hawk 2, either on the Dreamcast or the Xbox version. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2X, I think it's called. It's my favourite one. Zool or Bubsy? I'd have to say Zool, although Bubsy's an easier game. Zool's just a badass, isn't he? He's a Raisin Ninja. I mean, God. You know. And that was from Leigh Ashton also. Alan Davenport from Retro the Future Game asks, PAL or NTSC? I'd have to say NTSC because it plays at 60 Hz, I think. But I'd have to say NTSC. Chris Caldwell the Wolverine asks, what portable game and or portable system do you like the best? I think it'll be a toss up between the Atari Lynx and the Game Gear. I like the big chunkiness, I like that they had a colour screen. Yes, they eat batteries, but just I'll sit at home and plug it in and play it. So yeah, probably Game Gear or Atari Lynx. If somebody's put them in, stuck them out and said pick one, I'd have to grab the Lynx, I think. I just love the Lynx. Douglas Titchmarsh also asks, is there a system you have never owned but really want? And it'd probably be a Neo Geo MVS, a consoleized MVS system, or an AES. I like the Neo Geo AES, so that's the answer. Andre Russell from Zombie Bob's Emporium of Old Tat asks, does the size of the RetroTech 100 group surprise you? Did you think it would have as many members or be such a success? No, I didn't think it would have as many members, but I think it's because of you guys making the group so fun. It encourages people to want to join, and that's why it's the way it is, because of you guys. And I think that's it for question time of RetroTech. Next time there'll be more questions and I'll come up with a better title for this segment. So this has been RetroTech 100. I'll see you next time.